I think there's a level of intensity in Arkham Asylum that has been lacking from other video games. In Arkham Asylum, it's the real world, and he's fighting real thugs and real killers, and people really do get killed in the game. It's a very, very scary world, but it's a world that he's perfectly suited for.
In Batman Arkham Asylum, we really wanted Batman to face the worst night of his life. And so by taking him to Arkham Asylum, the home of the supervillains and where they are all kept, we really could take Batman and challenge him in so many varied and different ways.
You're in this kind of dark universe where you're not entirely sure of anyone's motives.
From the very first cinematic, when I saw the picture, it became really clear just how dark this was going to be.
We wanted to create a game that was in a dark, gritty environment. Arkham Asylum really lends itself to that. Location and the kind of mood that every Batman fan really wants to play a game in.
When I started my career in the early 80s, there were a lot of Batman developments I'd see at various studios, and they were all brightly colored, kind of camp interpretations of Batman. I would love to do Batman if we could make the cartoons like the old Fleischer Superman cartoons, because that should be his world. Art Deco, dark, with stirring music, a very cinematic take on it.
Creating art, in the Batman world was something very exciting for all of us.
Well, this is a different kind of animation than anyone has seen before. It's a very unique look, and I think the audience is going to get very excited by it. It looks great.
Something which is really big in the Batman world is the Gothic. So we try to really kind of push the Gothic elements, the kind of like Victorian era, a lot of like metalwork.
Gotham is an East Coast city, and it was built a long time ago, so there are a lot of English and European influences in its design. And that was perfectly captured, and I think that's very appropriate, because Arkham is really bedlam, and it really does have the look of an old madhouse. Inside, there are some very sleek areas, there are some very steampunk-looking areas, but Arkham is really an old mansion.
Well, through the different buildings, we really try to recreate some kind of history even through those buildings. So if you're going from like Gothic to more kind of like Victorian era, where it's going with a lot of metalwork, a lot kind of like creepy Frankenstein contraptions. We added a lot of kind of gritty, moody medical contraptions, and slowly we just saw it come into life.
The first thing we did is we just dived straight into the comic book history. We bought everything we could get our hands on. We just piled up a massive stash of comics and just read through them all to really get a feel for this character.
We read up a lot of reference about the Batman universe, and we made sure that we stuck to sort of things that are already in the universe, but we slightly changed them to bring our interpretation of it into life. I think everyone's going to be happy with what we've done. There's not going to be people saying, no, it shouldn't be like this, it should be like that. They'll say, yeah, that works.
I think it's also got kind of a dual audience. In one way, we're using a lot of elements that maybe the comic book readers wouldn't get, but also we've got a lot of kind of little features in there where big Batman fans would enjoy and be able to spot. But it's also for the people that aren't big Batman fans, and they can also sit back and just enjoy the story.
The reason he resonates with audiences so much is because he's got no superpowers.
Because he's just a man, he could literally be every man. Okay, he has all the gadgets and the access to technology and perhaps things that your average man wouldn't have, but he is just a man.
I don't like it.
I think people relate to him so well because he's got that public-private dynamic, that struggle that goes on with him. All of us have a public face and a private face. We all have a private persona that we think, is the world doesn't see. And so I think people relate to the character well that way.
Batman, I think, much more than a character like Superman, is sort of a wish fulfillment, because you've got anonymity thanks to your costume and, cool car and gadgets. I think kids want to do that. They start off loving masked heroes, and wouldn't it be fun if I could do that? And I think it's just an extension that we carry through adulthood.
We're at the moment now where we're thinking, God, I hope we can do this. I mean, I know we can, but now we have to.
Rocksteady taking on that challenge, it's half exciting and half terrifying. The burden's out there that the world wants a great Batman game, and to be honest, we all want a great Batman game. So that's the inspiration as well for us, is that it just deserves, he's such a cultural icon, he deserves a game to match.
A lot of people at work say, don't read the forums, but I just get addicted to reading them. I read them and it says, Arkham Asylum and can't wait to get it. A lot of people say, bought, sold, yeah, we're going to buy this, and it really makes me excited. I can't wait for it to come out.
We've got a lot of critics that will be kind of scrutinising this product. So we have to be careful in kind of what we show, have to be very focused in terms of where we come up with the ideas.
It's very exciting to see people thinking the game is looking great, but they haven't seen anything yet. I can tell to the Batman fans that we've been really digging through all the graphic novels and stuff, and the game is full of cameos, of references from 70 years of Batman history.
This game has its roots buried really deep in the history of Batman, and that affects all the characters.
Well, the great thing about Arkham Asylum as a location is that all of the major villains in the Batman universe have been there at one moment or other over the last, 70 years. So it's very easy to justify why Poison Ivy's there, why Bane's there, why Joker's there.
Not so tight, boys. You'll crease the soup.
Gotham is a unique city, and it's populated by unique supervillains. And you just can't send these guys to a regular jail. You need a location that matches their twisted nature. So Arkham Asylum was created as this hospital for the criminally insane, and only the worst and the craziest of the criminals were sent there.
When you play the game, you can follow the story, but the more you know about Batman, the more this game's going to give to you.
Most of the voices, for example, are considered the archetypal Batman voices. So we have Kevin Conroy as Batman, we have Mark Hamill as Joker, and when we recorded them, they just added a level that was unbelievable to the game.
What they deliver is, because they've kind of done it before, they always have their own vision for it, which kind of lends itself very well to what we're doing coming from the comic and graphic novel side.
What took you so long?
They're playing characters that you've heard them play before, but we're not that game. We're a darker game.
Batman is a very special experience for me. He's just a very special character.
What are you doing? Someone get over